On October 7th, there are some still trying to cast doubt on the extent of the atrocities perpetrated by Hamas terrorists. For that reason, the Israeli government press office is screening as yet unseen footage of what happened on that day. We're joined now by Tal Heinrich. She's from the National Public Diplomacy Directorate at the Prime Minister's office. Thank you very much for being with us, Tal. And I understand this will be unedited footage from the body cams that the terrorists were wearing. Why does the government feel that it's necessary to do this?
Well, this is something that the IDF spokesperson unit has arranged for, since so many in the international community and media outlets, as you just said, casted doubt on the atrocities. You see, Laura, some of the atrocities that these Hamas barbarians have committed here are so unimaginable, unfathomable, that people with a Western mind are just unable to comprehend them. For that reason, they have decided to arrange this special screening. There was a full hall full of international journalists who watched footage, and it's footage from body cameras of Hamas terrorists, footage where you see Hamas terrorists boasting about their atrocities, and they saw all the graphic imagery. As you can understand, some of the families do not want this footage to be published. This is why the journalists had to see it in person, write it down, absorb it in, understand what really happened here, what transpired on October 7th, and then speak it out to the world.
And I mean, this is unprecedented, isn't it, Tal? This is even after members of the world press were actually taken on tours of Kibbutz Be'eri and other places, Kfar Aza, where atrocities were perpetrated, when the evidence was right there in front of their eyes. It's hard to think of any other country that has had to do this.
It is true. Israel has evacuated all these communities in the south and also communities in the north. I think we have more than around 200,000 people who were evacuated over these 17 days. And some of the members of the international media were invited to take part in these tours in southern communities where right now no person no longer resides. This is the front line of a global war against terrorism right now. This is what's happening. And they went there. They smelled the smell. They saw the sights, the ruins of what happened, and it's really hard to process all of that. They're also talking to people, talking to soldiers, talking to the forces that deal with the bodies. Do you know that between 100 and 200 Israelis are still unaccounted for after 17 days after the October 7th massacre, which means that either they were abducted into Gaza, or they are dead and their bodies are in Gaza, or that they are dead and their bodies are here in Israel, Laura, but are beyond recognition. We are still working to identify some of the victims because this mission is taking so long and is so difficult because of what they've done to them. They turned people into ashes.
Tal, I mean, it's important, isn't it, in the Jewish tradition to preserve the honour and the dignity of the deceased, as it is in many other cultures as well. Is this a kind of a insult on top of injury, in that it's forcing Israel to sacrifice its traditions?
It is indeed. It is indeed. So many families out there still have a question mark. This is an ongoing suffering. It's a national pain. This is a nation in mourning. As you know, these families want answers. We also want to get our sons and daughters who are held inside Gaza back. And Israel will do whatever it takes to bring some relief to these aching families.
Okay. Tal, thank you so much for talking to us.
Of course.
Tal Heinrich there.